as I said before, as I said before in the last video, I was going to do a part 2. And so, in this part of my video, I'm going to put a little bit more, I'm going to put some extra emphasis to kind of balance things out, about the San Francisco 49ers. And, as far as, one of our biggest rivals, I believe, in our era of the 90s, and just like, I think like in history, especially when it comes to championships, and when it comes to, structure, I believe one of our biggest, if not our biggest rival, especially like, particularly talent-wise and just organization-wise, I have to say would be the San Francisco 49ers, of the 80s and, the 90s. And of course, 2 Hall of Fame, tremendous quarterbacks. Montana, I believe is the greatest QB that I've ever of all time, and of course Steve Young, who had a great career himself. Very, very active quarterback, and so two of the highest rated quarterbacks of all time. Along with a tremendous weapon, a machine. At wide receiver, which was of course Jerry Rice. A guy who. Who was one of a kind that nobody else could ever, really, in my view, surpass the things that he did. And even as a Cowboy fan, I give this man the utmost respect. So, the fact that he's the all-time leading all-time leading receiver, I can still picture him, back in. Like Super Bowl, picture him, giving 11 receptions in the Super Bowl, with the 215 yards, a touchdown, with a bad ankle. One of the targets that, that legendary 92-yard drive, against the Bengals. Of course, the next year with him catching 3 of Montana's 5 touchdowns. I was like one at the time, as I look at, as I look at highlights, but. Especially one of the things that really comes to my mind is during the time that Steve Young was his quarterback, where especially like in that '94 season, that last Super Bowl, his last season where he won the Super Bowl, like one of the first games of season against the Oakland Raiders at home, that very game where he became the all-time leader in touchdowns. He just slaughtered he just definitely just slaughtered the Raiders secondary. I know he even passed, with Steve Young, some pass where Steve Young was just throwing, just looked wildly, and Rice, it looked like he was going to be intercepted or something, and Rice just put his hands out and and just straight caught it. As it was coming down, Rice just reached up, pulled it down, and he had like 2 or 3 Raiders, 2 or 3 Raiders, trying to defend him, trying to defend him, trying to snatch the ball out of his hand, and he just broke away from it, went in the end zone with his arms raised up in victory, and also, of course, not only that, but that the NFC Championship game in '94, against Dallas with Barry Switzer, was our coach, and just the way he destroyed, just the way he destroyed Larry Brown, who was one of our best cornerbacks during that time, and just manhandled him. Just picked him to shreds. And of course, in Super Bowl 29, he was definitely at his best yet again. He dominated that game also. So, just the way he was just a true pattern of consistency. Even with 2 different quarterbacks. Even with those guys, he just constantly thrived. And somebody like that, like I say, if I was starting a team, as far as wide receiver, no question, he would be my very first name you would think of, when it comes to, a receiver, to build the passing game around, is Rice. This guy, like I said, he was a freaking machine. A pass catching animal. I mean, as far as route running, he may not have been naturally the fastest, but when it came to working within a system, and being able to maneuver, when it came to like those little shorter, medium routes that that he used to run the West Coast offense. When it came to that, I think he was the best, best overall pure route runner. I think of all time. You know what I'm saying? And that is really was a huge testament to his career. The way he was able to calculate and run those routes and throw guys off off balance and off guard. I mean, I would love. I mean, I just love to see just to see highlights of Jerry Rice, because I mean that he's like nobody else either before or after. I mean, man was just phenomenal. Him and Emmitt, what I'm saying, the best of their era, the best of their time. No one can ever can ever duplicate. There are people who can imitate, but can never, ever, just duplicate what these guys did. I don't know, what else I can, possibly think of, what else I could possibly say to really define, just how tremendous they were. I mean, both guys were definitely class acts off the field as well. Which is something else I really, really applaud them for. And so, like I said, man, congratulations. I'm saying, y'all, you two definitely deserve it. Two of the greatest to ever play. What I'm saying, two of the best in the '90s, and just of all time. And of course, like I say, when it came, I mean, those were the two of the best dynasties, the Niners and the Cowboys. And to be honest, I'm just gonna, just to close out. Like when the Patriots won and they were being compared, all the time. I think I even heard them being called like the greatest of all time. But like I say, if you were to match the recent 3-time Super Bowl Patriots, from the 2000 era against the '80s Niners and the '90s Cowboys, both teams, the Niners and the Cowboys, would knock the living daylights out of the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no comparison. Just for the record. You know what I'm saying? Because those guys were technically sound and and could just outwit and outmaneuver New England. But I just wanted to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the Patriots had nothing especially neither the Cowboys or Niners, especially the Cowboys. That's not even close. But like I said, one of the main reasons why is because of those guys who just got inducted. Those are the vital pieces to those puzzles. So, like I said, the triplets, all three, equals one Hall of Fame. And, Rice, Montana, and Young, all three, one Hall of Fame. So once again, congratulations. See ya, and I'll be back soon.